Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for visiting our channel. Help us grow the channel by taking a second or two and click that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, like this particular video and help us share videos. And to all our subscribers and our supporters, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, the Kenya Kwanza leaders have become confused. They are fighting everyone in front of them. They don't know how to choose their battles because it has reached a point where everyone is their enemy. The judiciary, the opposition, anybody who takes them to court like Okeo Mutata, anybody who wants to question why the cost of living is high, I mean everyone. But if there is one person who has been given a rope to commit suicide, it is Rigathi Gachagua. Kimani Chungwa is in that camp, and of course Ndindi Nyoro. And I also know of Gachagua, that is one of the senators from Mount Kenya. And William Ruto has decided very strategically to give Rigathi Gachagua a poisoned chalice. And Rigathi is drinking from it. In fact, one thing that shocked me is that Rigathi Gachagua, who calls himself a truthful man, does not understand human psychology. He decided to take his war, to take the battlefront to Alfred Keter. You know, Alfred Keter has been a thorn in the flesh to the Ruto administration because he's telling them reality, the reality that every other person tells this government, that you stood on a platform of looking at the hustlers and the bottom-up economy and making sure that what you accused the former regime of perpetuating, you will at least do the opposite. But now life is even worse. One of the speeches that, before we look at Rigathi Gachagua's response, that is really backfires on him, let us look at one of the speeches by Alfred Keter.
And I'm not about to change. And I have no apologies to make. Because unless you say as it is, there are many people who will suffer. Waswaji Emeta of Kenya. Na mimi nataka kuomba wana Secretary General. What you mentioned about delocalization is bothering many teachers. And it will be worse because the fuel has been increased and the cost of transport will be crazy that no teacher will afford. The cost of living is on another level. You stood on a platform of bottom up. Kusaidia wale wanyonge, alafu waende juu. Lakini sasa hivi mmesahau. Mkiongeza fuel, mnatesa wale wa chini zaidi kushinda wale wa mzozo. Ngo mmoja wako kwa fuel tubote stu. Na mtu waje kututisha hapo kidogo ati kwa vile moto ku amu serikali ifanyanwa. Mami, yage ripoti kwa kitu. Sawa basi, simuko hapa. Mkitoka hapa mtuonyeshe petrol stations ya watu wa serikali na ile ya opposition. Magenge, ngibia mandazi gete bekelibono. Anane. Na msituambie ati sijini. Watu wa kumako losa tuweka sasa wanaona mimi mwene kimebe kauni. Anane. Caution. There are many people who are languishing in poverty. The school fees has been increased. The cost of living is on another level. And you spoke on the same basis. Mulisema yule rais ambaye alitoka hapo anajua kuongoza. Hata mimi nikakubali. Lakini nyinyi you have made it worse than Uhuru Kenyatta. Anane, wakati kuune maisha mauli? Anane. Magisa hizo aige. Kiasi hiyo hata tumul jamaa tumakipiza. Wala ndio hapa. Ada mama da sira bai mama mali siri hapa. Mama nataka hata bicheleni mandangaleta kama weka mkono juu wale wote wanasema ni ukweli. Asante sana. May my uncle rest in eternal peace. Thank you so much.
Now after that speech, this is what Rigathi Gachagua said about it. He took an opportunity to read a riot act to the Bomet residents and the members of parliament who are always very quiet when Alfred Keter confronts them.
Niliona juzi hapa Chepanungu kijana mwingine alifukuzwa huko Nandi, amekuja hapa kwa mazishi, anataka kusomea serikali, mnapiga makofi. Na ni sawa. Lakini hakuna mtu ya kumuuliza wewe ulikuwa kwa ile serikali ya handshake. Fertilizer ilikuwa 7,000. Sasa ni 2,500. Bona siku hiyo huko unaongea, sasa ndio uko na mdomo mrefu. Hakuna mtu ya kuuliza Aulizwe siku ulikuwa kwa ile serikali ya handshake. Barabara zote za Bomet na Kerisho zilisimamishwa na serikali ya handshake kwa sababu ya William Ruto, na wewe ulikuwa pale, ulikuwa pande ile. Mumesahau, mnaanza kumpigia makofi. Watu ya Bomet. Why? You should have asked that former MP. He was in that government ya Raila na Uhuru. Saa ile watu ya Rift Valley waliumizwa kwa sababu ya kuunga William Ruto mkono. He was part of that government. Na alikuwa anasema William Ruto ni mwizi, hawezi chaguliwa. Hawa Wakalenjin wakiumizwa na hiyo serikali, he was part of it. Amekuja hapa mazishi, anaongea mambo, mnapiga makofi. Wabunge wetu wako pale wamenyamaza. Wabunge mumenyamaza. You must answer these fellows and you must remind them that history is important. Mkubwa yao ya Azimio Raila ndiye alisema historia ni important. Mwambie historia is important. Wewe you are part of that government ambaye ilinyanyasa hao Wakale. At that time you are not speaking. Ulikuwa unatukana William Ruto. Sasa umekuja hapa unajifanya atuweji unajua zaidi na huambii wananchi why the president is having challenges. Ni ile madeni alikuta imechukuliwa na wale watu. Na hii madeni lazima alipe.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, when you scrutinize carefully, you will realize that Alfred Keter has been speaking about this government not once, not twice, but the confrontation has gone on many times. But William Ruto is very quiet. He is avoiding a direct confrontation with Alfred Keter. The UDA members of parliament from Rift Valley, people like, even the outspoken people like Kipchumba Murkomen, Oscar Sudi, the Nandi Senator Samson Cheruiyot, the majority leader of the Senate, they don't want to speak. They don't want to confront Alfred Keter. And you'd want to ask why. And this is why I find it very, very unwise for Rigathi Gachagua to find himself in the middle of a quagmire where the other siblings, political siblings, are very quiet. If you realize that some people are fighting in their home and the other brothers do not want to confront one of the aggressor, then you know they are either afraid of him or they are afraid of the repercussion from the other villages. Because if you look at this, the William Ruto camp understand that what Alfred Keter is talking about is nothing but the truth. And they know that if they confront Alfred Keter directly, they will face a backlash on it. Ever wondered why anytime Alfred Keter is talking about this and it's confronting the government, people cheer him up? If people do not want to hear you, they will shut you. You saw how the governor of Busia was being heckled, Utuma. You saw how the other day Susan Kehika in Nakuru was being heckled and shut down by the very, very people who elected them into those offices. So when you see Alfred Keter, you see Alfred Keter was a member of parliament, and he even joined the UDA because he knew that the UDA wave was taking over. And some people argue that he actually won in the nominations, but William Ruto was not very easy with him. So he was denied an opportunity to contest. He was denied that ticket. It happens when in all these parties, they sometimes look at loyalty at the expense of how you relate with your people. But all the same, Alfred Keter has even alluded to those fact that mimi sikupewa ticket, but haidhuru niko hapa, but I will not keep quiet when people are suffering, because once a leader, always a leader. But the people have never heckled him or shut him down. And this should inform Rigathi Gachagua that there are battles that you need to look at before you get. You could even wait for Oscar Sudi to talk about, to confront Alfred Keter. For him to come all the way from Nyeri to come and read a riot act to the leaders and the residents of Bomet, it is like telling them they don't know what they're doing. And this will backfire on Rigathi Gachagua. Rigathi Gachagua has got many more fishes to fry. Already, he's got bigger battles. He's got the Nandi Nyoro competition that is now, becoming a big discussion, not only in Nyeri, but in the wider Mount Kenya, and in fact, all over Kenya as a whole, because the supporters of Nandi Nyoro are saying that we are going to support Nandi Nyoro and not Rigathi Gachagua. And they are saying that as Murang'a people, they have supported Nyeri because Kibaki was from Nyeri, Othaya. They are saying they have supported Kiambu because the first president, Jomo Kenyatta, and his son hails from Kiambu. So they are saying this time round, it is our time, and they're saying it is now or never. So Rigathi Gachagua should concentrate on the battles that pertains to him and his future, rather than running away to come and pretend that he now wants to, lecture the people of Bomet as if they don't know what they're doing. The people of Bomet know what is good for them. And so someone cannot come and start telling them that, you are quiet when Keter was talking. They know why. And people are suffering. Keter was not speaking anything personal. He doesn't have anything personal against the government. Whatever Keter is speaking is what many other people are speaking. William Ruto is quiet and is looking at Rigathi Gachagua as he shoots himself on the foot using his own pistol. Now, if you look at how William Ruto is dealing with Rigathi Gachagua has always gone to Eastern and talks about Kalonzo Musyoka until it took the intervention of the governors. They told him, "Awezi kuja hapa, you take a whole 30 minutes talking about Kalonzo. He's our son." And with that, William Ruto wants to make sure that the doors of Kambani are shut so that Rigathi cannot go to Kambani maybe to campaign. He has done the same with Raila Amolo Odinga, telling Raila Amolo Odinga on the face, tulikushinda, kubali, nini, anaongea mambo mengine. In Luoland or in the larger ODM zone, Rigathi cannot go there and campaign. The doors are shut. With Mudavadi, they are already fighting for, untold succession politics, just the same way they are doing with the Kithure Kindiki and Nandi Nyoro. So he cannot go to Western to campaign. Now, if Rigathi Gachagua wants to be a national leader, remember, he's the same person who has been saying in serikali ya shareholders. And yet he expects that after William Ruto, he will take over. By what means? When you are preaching, what we call individual politics, where you feel that since you voted for this government, you're the only people who are supposed to have the national cake. And then you are always at loggerheads with other communities. We always play tribal and ethnic politics. Where will he go? And William Ruto is preparing to ditch Rigathi Gachagua. And when he does that, or if he does that, then Rigathi Gachagua will have no one to defend him. Already his own brothers and sisters from Murang'a are ditching him. And then the neighbors, like the Eastern, are not with him. The Western not with him. The Lunyans are not. So where will he go? In Nairobi, he's at loggerheads with the current governor, Johnson Sakaja. And this is why I'm saying that he has been given a poisoned chalice to talk about everything. And you see, when you talk about everything, you become an enemy of all the people. Why can't William Ruto himself confront Keter? He's the president and he comes from that region. And if he cannot, why can't his soldiers do that? And Rigathi is blinded and he cannot see this. And then you see him talking about Uhuru Kenyatta. I mean, even Musalia Mudavadi once told this like 2 weeks ago, that we don't need to talk about Uhuru anymore. It is not about blaming any other person. We are in government. Let us fix it. But Rigathi Gachagua is still so much obsessed about Raila and Uhuru, the previous regime. I mean, can't we agree for once that yes, maybe things were not as good as we may imagine? Let us agree that they inherited a dilapidated economy. Let's just agree if that is what they want. So what? Yes, they have inherited a dilapidated economy. So should we keep quiet when people keep on suffering? When we have high taxes that they had promised they would not, they would reduce. When the cost of living is even getting tougher and harder. Right now, taking people to school is very difficult. The cost of education, because we know that they are listening to the Brentwood institutions, the IMF and the World Bank, and they are dictating what we are supposed to do. So we are not supposed to speak according to Rigathi Gachagua because people did not speak in the last regime. So should we just continue suffering because we suffered in the previous regime? That is what he's telling us. And this is what I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, that Rigathi Gachagua will soon be politically annihilated, and no one will be there to speak for him, because instead of now projecting himself as a national leader, as a deputy president of the country, he's projecting himself and manifesting traits of a tribal leader, only speaking on behalf of maybe the UDA brigade and the Kikuyu community. And this is very bad for him if he is aspiring to be a president of this country. I don't know what you think, but that is my take.